talk about it, Boulder.
We just saw plethora of players that went to the league that was on this team that was sitting in these same seats.
It's about that time. We are here. It's the propaganda machine. We are, yes, that's 100% the propaganda machine. Why? Because it is fall camp. First week out, first week done. And there's a lot of winners in that. Plus, I want to talk about Paul Finebaum had some things to say earlier this week that I didn't get a chance to talk about. And I know we bag on him often, but we also got to praise the dude when he says something right. So we'll talk about Finebaum first. And we're going to talk about fall camp. All that here on the prime time for college football. Thank y'all for pulling up. Your boy Jay. Let's dive into what's going on, man. Finebaum had some stuff to say over on First Take about Coach Prime and him making his return. And I thought it warranted some praise. Let's hear what Finebaum had to say.
Molly, every time you think we have seen something extraordinary from Deion Sanders, he manages to take it up another level. And I sat here a year ago, and I'm quite frankly embarrassed to admit this, but I'm going to, because Stephen A. corrected me and led me down the right road. I talked about Deion, about the star, but I wondered about the relevancy in college football. But yesterday, I mean, I nearly just fell over when I heard this news, because it is incredibly serious. And it's one thing to beat that cancer. It's another thing to have to deal with the struggle that he has ahead. Stephen A., you've looked death in the eye. RC, you've either been injured or have had so many friends or colleagues or teammates who have faced it, as we all have. I'm the oldest one of this group. And you think about mortality, but when you hear what he said yesterday, the richness of it, the spirituality of it, I mean, it was truly a gobsmacking moment to think about what he has been through, how he was able to keep it within a circle, how he used others like Randy Moss and many, many more, and Stephen A. as well, to lift them up, not lift him up, because Deion Sanders doesn't need that. He is an iconic figure. And I thought about it the other day, Stephen A. and RC and Molly. We were talking about Belichick. And while Bill Belichick has won 6 Super Bowls and has been a part of 8, he still doesn't bring to the college game what Prime has. In light of what he's done with his son and Travis Hunter, was his absolute finest moment.
See, we bag on him, but at the same time, we understand when he says something that is logical and appreciated. And he looked at the nuance of it. And I love how he said, you know, when you think Prime has shown you everything, he gives you even more at the next level. And now it feels like more of the media understanding more and more about who Prime is. And me and Dukes talked about it, you know, earlier this week. Check that video out here on the channel, me and Philip Dukes. And it's really that, you know, Prime is just a larger than life character, and we understand how large a life character he is. And the way people act as if that's just some anomaly when it comes to him as a person, it's always ridiculous. But I like to see that Finebaum has adjusted the mindset and understanding what we're getting. And, you know, hopefully he will now judge him as a coach would play on the field and be appreciative of the field stuff and not go so personal. So many people like to get personal when it comes to Prime. And that's probably the thing that annoys me the most. Don't take the dude personally when you're talking football. If you're going to talk football, talk football. If you're going to talk personal, do that outside of the confines of you covering football. That to me is more important than anything. If you're going to cover football, cover football. Don't cover them on a personal aspect when you're supposed to be talking football. So I think we've got that established, and I think we're good to go in that capacity. But besides that here, fall camp is here, man. And if there's one thing I love about fall camp is that you get nothing but propaganda. You're going to get all these crazy catches and crazy moves, and you're going to see a whole bunch of players showing out, and you're going to start getting those names to keep your eyes out on. And if there's one area that I am watching hardcore is really that wide receiver room. Colorado's replacing 4 wide receivers. You know, Travis Hunter, LaJohntay Wester, Jimmy Horn Jr., Will Shepard. You're replacing 4 dudes that ended up in the NFL. 3 got drafted, 1 signed as a free agent. And then you're also replacing the quarterback spot. Now, I feel like I'm more comfortable at quarterback than I was at wide receiver, mainly because I think Salters, he's got the experience, and so I think he's going to be good. If you've been watching me before, you know I'm a big advocate of him playing to start, but that doesn't mean I'm anti-Juju. I think Juju Lewis is going to be something special long term. But for Colorado, the main thing is going to be who's going to step out at wide receiver and make it happen. And so we know Marion Miller got hurt last year, and so we're wondering to see how he recovers and comes back. And then you got young Draylon Miller, who's a big dude, 6'1", 200-plus pound wideout, got some Deebo Samuels capabilities with him. And I'm going to be honest, man, I think that you might got something in the Miller boys now. I mean, of course, you bring in additional wide receivers out of the portal. You bring in a Sincere Brown, and so you're like, he's going to be something. Hakeem Williams, you bring in some good transfers like you did last year. And so that wide receiver room is going to be full of star potential. We just got to see if that star potential turns into something. But I like what they've got in-house. I love the Miller boys. And the propaganda machine has been building with a lot of highlights from the Colorado account on those two. You're seeing Omarion look healthy as hell, and he's making some catches. You're also getting some stuff from Draylon Miller. He's giving you some of that good stuff as well. And so when we break down these position groups over the next couple of weeks, we're ready to see who's going to be that dude that's going to step out there at wide receiver. And so I want to hear from you all. Who do you think is that one? Hop in the comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts. Outside of that, though, the defense is going to be fun. I think the defense is going to be probably the most interesting side, especially with Coach Livingston bringing in arguably one of the best defenses in the Big 12. Last year, they were phenomenal. You saw a massive jump, and I think you're going to see an even bigger jump this year with the pieces that was picked up. And Dukes made a really good point when we were talking the other day. The question is, who's going to be that dude that rocks the dot? Who's the green dot on defense? I mean, you've got current players on the roster that could probably run that. But then you toss in, your recent pickups, a Martavius French. That's one that I'm just like, maybe he decides to steal his way up there and become your dot. Reggie Hughes is one that I was like, okay, he may be another green dot guy that's being your quarterback on the defense. The options are truly there, right? And Dukes was really leaning in on, and I thought this was interesting when he said this. He's leaning in on, Sean Myers, Jeremiah Brown. Like he named a few people. I'm just like, I didn't think about it in that way. Cause me, I think it's going to end up being French. Feels like French. I know he's the Mike, and it feels like he's probably the one that's going to end up winning it. But one player I do want to see, I want to see Kylan Salter, dog. I didn't realize he was that big. I'm interested in seeing if he becomes that dude. But he likes Sean Myers. He thinks Myers can come in and take that spot as the dude with the dot. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. Well, we all know that they're running a defense that has multiple, you're running a nickel, a 3-3, probably a 3-3-ish 5, 4-2-5 actually, defense. So, I don't know. Coach Livingston's got some good options. That's what's most important. So, first week of camp feels like a big win for the Buffs. You start to see some really good stuff from players you were hoping to see from. I think the biggest winner out of it so far, even with the QB battle going on, Marion Miller. He is the biggest winner week one of Buffs camp because he's making some moves and he looks healthy. And that to me is a huge win for what the Buffs got going on. Let me know what you think. Hop in the comments. Want to hear your thoughts. We'll have some more videos coming down the line in the next few days. Me and Dukes probably get together, break down some position groups, focus on particular ones. But man, it's going to be a fun week. Propaganda machine's flowing. Now it's content season. So we'll have some more videos for you all. And We'll chop it up soon.